Welcome to another episode in the Land Rover Drive garage series. In this episode we are going to refit new studs, new gasket and a newly planed manifold. So back in the garage, time to put the manifold on. So it's all ready. Got my studs, nuts, new gasket and manifold. So just get to it and hopefully I can get it done tonight. So nice with new parts. Oh. So I'm just gonna start putting in the studs. And they are entering the threads pretty good. So they are. That will mean that they are clean. So just 4 more. So that's all the studs. So I'm not going to use the manifold nuts because they are grooved. So I'm going to save the grooves for the manifold itself. So I'm just going to use 2 other nuts that I have and just do the same thing that I did taking them off. It's also 13mm, so connect them together and then you can tighten a bit. So you don't have to tighten too much, but you want them to set into the head. So I know it's 25 newtons on the nuts itself. Yeah, that's enough. But I couldn't find anything on the studs, so I'm going to check that afterwards, and then I'm going to put it on the screen here if I can find that. But I talked to a mechanic, so you can guess who. He said I asked him if hand tight was enough. He said no, just tighten them with just a little bit with the wrenches. So a few more to go and then we are ready to put on the gasket and then the manifold. So this is the easy and fun job, just putting it back together because all the new parts makes it so easy, and the pain is actually just cleaning and getting the bolts off. But the worst thing was getting out the broken bolts. So that's it. All the studs are in and they are fastened. Now we can put on the gasket. Like so.
Do you think it's strange that they are not centered more than this? It kind of sit a bit low. I don't know if I should hold it up while I put on the manifold, but we will see.
So when it was in training, they didn't fix the EGR connection. So this is where the EGR pipe is connected. So I'm just gonna try and clean it up as much as possible, and so I can get a good seal. I could have used the grinder probably, but I don't want to take too much. That's why I'm just using the sandpaper. I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. It's pretty clean, but since it's been rusted, it's got like this grooves into the metal.
This is what's going to connect to the manifold.
So you can see the ring, and you can see the ring on the manifold here. So yeah, hopefully it's going to seal well. I'm going to clean up this as well while I have the piping a bit looser. So ready to put the manifold on now. Just gonna preset my torque wrench to 25. So it's a 13 mil socket. Yeah, I got clearance all the way. So let's put the manifold back on. This has been a long time coming now. So as I said, with the alignment of the, I'm just gonna try and hold it a bit up maybe. Try to get it to enter. So the thing is, as I talked about, is that the bolt that's left that hasn't been replaced, I think isn't perfectly aligned. So, okay, as I mentioned earlier, the gasket was sitting a bit low, so I'm adjusting it just before I push in the manifold. I'm gonna have it manifold back, so you start with one just to get it seated. Here again, I'm adjusting the gasket and pushing it a bit upwards. Try to put it in the middle, like so. Normally you would torque up the exhaust manifold from the center and out, but since I don't know the condition of the old bolt that I haven't replaced yet, I wanted to start with that one. Making sure the manifold gets seated as far into the head as possible. before I start torquing up the rest, I'm tightening the nuts, making sure that the gasket stays in its place. Tighten a little bit on the next ones. So I found it hiding behind a coffee cup. Coffee is important to keep up the motivation. So I'm hoping this bolt that was there before, that is gonna hold. It feels like it's not. So the old stud isn't torquing up and I'm getting a bit worried. I need to see if the bolt is turning or not. So I need to use a wrench. I'm using the wrench so I can see if the bolt is moving or not. It feels like this bolt isn't holding up. What I want to do is release some pressure on this one. If this bolt isn't holding as much as I hoped it should, I'm thinking that if I loosen this a bit, I can get it to as far in on the other side here as possible, and then tighten up here so it's gonna level. Use the leverage to get it in and the bolt will hold. I can't see if the bolt is turning or if it's just a nut. So this is a sensor wire that's in the way when I try to, let's see if we can get it out. Now we can check again if the bolt is moving or not. Can get a better grip here, I hope. Still a pipe in the way, but no, the bolt isn't moving, so let's try again with the torque wrench. At this point my heart is pumping again, hoping it will hold. And when I hear that sweet sound, I'm so happy. Okay, so that's torqued up, so that's good. Try and torque it up here. Okay, so the bolt is holding. Oh, thank God. I'm so happy it's holding. I was afraid it's gonna be a huge problem. I have to do this all over again. Leave it. So that's the manifold in. Finally, it's back in. Now it's just about, now it's just getting the turbo mounted back and then start on the top hose.